But frankly, this place has been turned into a soap opera once again. We have over 300,000 people waiting on waiting lists. We have 280 young people, children, today with no school to go to next year. And then we have the DUP and Sinn Féin threatening to pull this place down again. Has nobody learned any lessons from the last time we were here? Absolutely every single commitment in NDNA needs to be delivered and done urgently. The Irish language legislation, all the cultural legislation, expansion of McGee, dealing with waiting lists, dealing with the housing issue, all of these things need dealt with. What was dealt with when we had 3 years of no government? Absolutely nothing. And I fear if this place comes down at this time, it won't come back. Does anybody really want Boris Johnson dealing with our health crisis? Does anybody think Matt Hancock is the right man to sort out the issues in Northern Ireland? I, for one, don't. And it's about time these two parties stopped thinking about themselves and looking after their own interests and started thinking about the public out there. People are sick of it. We're still going through a pandemic. Waiting lists are out of control. What are they going to do about it? Stop all the messing. Nominate a First and Deputy First Minister, and let's get on with delivering all of those things in NDNA and all the other things that people want us to deal with.
Who do you blame?
Look, you know, we've had the roundabout of this for 14 years, where Sinn Féin and the DUP have been the largest party here, delivered very little for the public out there, delivered plenty for themselves, but we still have a health crisis. We now have an education crisis. We have an economic crisis. Thousands of our young people leaving here every year, never coming back. The two of those parties are jointly responsible. The joint First Ministers running this place hand in hand together for 14 years. Who would you blame?
There's a more pressing matter this week. Executive meeting come Thursday, big decision to be made in a North-South Ministerial Council meeting come Friday. As we stand here today, is it your sense that they may go by the wayside?
Well, there won't be a North-South Ministerial Council if Sinn Féin refused to nominate a Deputy First Minister. So last week we were all, in the last few weeks, we were all rightly very annoyed that North-South had been stripped out, the DUP weren't playing their full part. But if Sinn Féin go through with what this anonymous source is telling us they're going to go through with, we won't have a North-South Ministerial Council at all. You know, so let's get some perspective, let's do the job that we were elected to do, and let's just get on with it.
Colin, you're very critical of the Sinn Féin DUP administration. Surely the best way to change that is an election.
Hey, look, we don't fear an election, we'd look forward to one. But I don't think the public out there think politicians should be indulging themselves again. What they should be doing, all of us, is committing to taking the politics out of health and dealing with the crisis in the health service, dealing with the economy, dealing with the crisis in the transfer system. That's the job. You don't just get to have an election every time you get annoyed about something. Someday, someone's going to have to deliver something in this place. I haven't seen much of that so far. It's about time people started to wise up, started acting like adults and stop the nonsense.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks.